This story starts a few months ago back in deer season. I just killed my very first deer with a recurve bow, something I'd been trying to do for a long time. But before I could even get up to my deer, a pack of coyotes had already eaten it, drug it all over the mountain, so bad that you could barely even tell it was a deer. And it was at that moment that they unknowingly started something that they cannot finish. A war with a YouTuber that has way too much free time. In this video, we are going on an all-out, what do you call it whenever you go on like an all-out offensive or something?
I don't know, all
Google it. Whatever the word is, we're going on that. I'm pulling out my thermals. I'm bringing out my guns, drones, traps, bombs. If I can do anything about it, there will not be a single coyote running around this mountain by the time I'm finished. And we're gonna be pulling out DNA tests so that we can track back the DNA to make sure that we killed the entire family. So without further ado, enough talking, let's get straight into it. Our objective's simple. We're gonna knock out a lot of coyotes in this video, and we're gonna have no mercy about it whatsoever. Oh yeah, and by the way, the word I was looking for is just war. It's just war, it's really simple, but anyways, we're starting the war. Here we go. I started off with something that I knew would work, traps. For coyotes, I like to use one called an MB550. It's about as big as your hand, and when it closes on a coyote's foot, the coyote will not be going anywhere. And I made a set that I've done hundreds of times, a dirt hole set. We set the trap and bury it like it's not even there. Then we make a little dirt hole and put some bait in it. If all goes well, as the coyote comes around to look down in the hole, his foot should go straight on top of the trap and we'll have him in the morning. I went ahead and set 3 traps. Not many, but I set them in really hot spots. You see, not only do I know there's a bunch of coyotes because they ate my deer, but I've also had trail cameras set out all year long in a bunch of locations. And I hate to say this, but some nights we get more pictures of coyotes than we do deer. But with that being said, I knew exactly where I needed to set these traps, and it paid off quickly. Only 2 days after setting the trap, and we already had a coyote hanging in it. And we caught him just like we were hoping to, straight on the foot. After taking him out, it was time to get a DNA test on him, send it off, and reset this trap so we can catch another coyote. Buddy, I'm telling you what happened. It has been 2 days since we caught the last coyote, and we've already caught the other one right here. And just like we mentioned, after each kill, we're gonna be swabbing the DNA. And with it, I'm gonna be running a little science experiment. But I'll tell you a little bit more about that later.
It has been 2 days and we have caught another coyote. Except this time, he was dead before I got here. And that's kind of strange. Something's killed him. There was nothing in the trap yesterday. I caught this dude last night, and by the time I could get here today, brother's done, and he's got holes in him. This old coyote's been killed by something. Any guesses?
All right, guys, we have our 4th coyote. We're doing a pretty dang good job at wiping these out. And once again, it's right here where we caught the other 3.
Right here he is.
That is 4 coyotes off this property. It ain't been very long either. It's nothing personal.
All right, guys. Another one bites the dust.
We ain't got no ear probe.
You don't need it. It's at this point that the war on coyotes has been doing really good. But right now, I want to let you in on a little secret. You see, I'm not really doing these DNA tests to make sure they're all family. The DNA test will reveal if they are related, however, the real reason is a lot more scientific. You see, there's a theory going around that the coyotes of the eastern United States aren't just coyotes, and that they actually have some wolf DNA mixed in. And there's a lot of reasoning for that. If you take a coyote from around here and compare it to one out west, the one around here is a lot bigger. And when you get a big male, it does kind of look wolfy. And I've been wanting to do this test for a long time. So yes, these DNA tests are going to reveal whether all these coyotes are family, but they should also reveal the big mystery: are the wolves of the East actually part wolf? And so with all these DNA tests, that's what I'm really trying to figure out. And by the end of this video, we should have our answer. But it's at this point in the war that we're going to be taking our focus off of coyotes in general and focusing in on one specific coyote. You see, for the last 3 days, I've been getting the same exact coyote on camera in the same exact location. So tonight, the game plan is simple. We're going to put a spot and stalk on that exact coyote. But before we do that, we're going to be flying the thermal drone to see if we can get a little more information on where this coyote might be living. Alright guys, the drone is in the air. Here's the wide view, there's the pond. Here's the thermal so that we can actually see things that give off heat. This area right over here is where we've been seeing the coyotes, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see something. Here's something that's definitely hot. Let's check it out. Something's glowing hot right here. This is definitely an animal, but it's a deer. It's a deer. It appears to be just a little doe standing up. Nothing special, not a coyote. Then right down there's another hot something. That is the coyote. We stinking found him. Or we found one of them. Let's get a closer look at that thing. You can see it glowing hot right there. Y'all see the coyote now, can't you? He's sitting there looking up at the drone. He knows it's there. He doesn't know what it is, and he definitely doesn't know what to do about it. I wouldn't be surprised if that's the exact coyote we've been having on camera up there. And I also wouldn't be too surprised if we're able to get right on top of him tonight and draw him in for a good kill shot with the thermal. But there we go. One of them. Just curled up in a ball, trying to stay warm. But that's what I got to thinking. Why do we have to wait till tonight if we know exactly where he is right now? So here we go. Commencing plan. Watch him with the drone while we walk up with the rifle and shoot him in the head. Starts now.
The only good coyote is a dead coyote.
Now, lucky for me, I know this place really well, so I knew which routes I needed to take to get on him without him knowing I was coming. I rode the Defender to the top of the hill while keeping an eye on him with the drone, making sure he doesn't get up and bounce. Alright guys, we're rolling up to the area. So far the coyote has still not moved. And once I got into position, it was time for me to get out of the Defender, pull out the rifle, and start the stalk. Using the drone to keep an eye on him, as well as guide me in to his exact location. And to me, this isn't even hunting. This is just pest control. This is about as advanced warfare hunting, if you could even call it hunting, as we're gonna get. Because that coyote is only about 100 yards away. Screen recording. The coyote is right here, and we are currently right there walking down this trail. Let's go ahead and cover some ground. We gotta get closer. All right, guys, we're getting close. We're starting to get really close. He's really close. We're very close. And at this point, I should be right on top of him. Looking at where I've marked his location on the drone, I should be able to see him from here, but I'm just not able to. I think he's gone. I think he's gone. I think this thing got away. I think he slipped right underneath me as I was sneaking up. And turns out I was exactly right, because after further review on the drone footage, you can see the exact moment that the coyote hops up and moves out of the way. It was a good shot, guys, but it just didn't work.
All right, guys, well, that's a wrap. We tried, but I guess we'll just have to get him later tonight, because right here, right now, I think this old dude got away from me. Don't get used to it, because we're not giving up till we kill that coyote. And let's not forget, we have plenty more that we have to get.
Unfortunately, we weren't able to get him today, but that's no problem, because we're still going back to get him tonight.
And to do that, we're gonna need a few pieces of equipment. First is my AR, chambered in 5.56 and rigged up top with a thermal imaging scope. Next, a tripod just for super stable shots, and then a predator call. This is actually gonna play dying animal sounds, which in hopes is gonna bring in coyotes to give us a shot. And my thermal scanner, which is gonna let me see more area, not so zoomed in like the scope would. And that there is really all that we really need to go coyote hunting. The rest, we just gotta do. So let's go do it. Here we go. Let's start the call and see if we can pull something down from the mountain. Our game plan is pretty simple. We're just gonna set up in a somewhat strategic position where we can see a lot, hit a dying rabbit sound, and hope that a coyote hears it, comes in for an easy kill, and that's whenever we take the rifle, put a bullet straight through the top of his head, or this heart. I'm not too picky. But for this coyote, I think I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can play a very quiet cottontail in distress. And now we start looking. After a little bit of calling, I see my first heat pop up on the scanner. So I got down on the scope, but unfortunately I still couldn't tell what it is. I could tell that it was something and that it was alive, but I can't really tell. And this is something that you really gotta pay attention to. You can't just shoot at everything that moves. This little bit of heat could be anything from a coyote to a fox, maybe even a dog, possum, or it could even be the ear of a deer. And you just never really know until you get a really good look at it. And unfortunately with this thing, we just never got a good enough look at it to tell what it is at all. And it didn't make me feel any better that later that night, the same coyote popped up on the same trail camera. But regardless, the war continues. In the meantime, me and my buddy Samuel went out deer hunting to try to get his first deer. Everything was going good, we were practiced up with the crossbow, and once we were in the blind, right at the edge of dark, we finally got a shot on one. Oh, yeah. Let's go. You hit something. It seemed like it hit a little far back, so we sent up the drone and we ended up finding the deer. But since it was still alive, we decided to back out and come back the next morning. And despite taking out 5 coyotes already, when we rolled up to the deer the next morning, there had already been coyotes eating on it, which really just goes to show how many coyotes there are in this area and how active they are. And over the next couple weeks, we would get a ton of trail camera pictures, but unfortunately, we just wasn't able to catch them. And here's why. Alright, so the last thing you guys seen was that another deer had actually been eaten by the coyotes, which is terrible, and it means that although we have trapped 5 of them, we've still got a lot more to trap, especially if they can eat that much again in one night. But I want to let you guys know why we've not actually caught a coyote in a while. And it's because of these conditions. You see, this morning it was 14 degrees, which means last night it was also 14 degrees. And whenever it's 14 degrees, that makes trapping a whole lot harder. And that's the main reason why we've not actually had our traps set. See, right here, this is where we caught like 3 of the coyotes, but check out the trap itself. Not only is the trap frozen, but also the ground is too. It's frozen solid. Whenever it's like that, you can't hardly dig a trap bed. It's hard enough to put a trap in the ground. You gotta use a chisel or something. But even if you get the trap in the ground and the ice melts during the day, the water seeps into the dirt around the trap, freezes, something comes back at night, it's gonna step on the trap pan
but it's not gonna go off because your trap is froze solid. That's why in these conditions, when it's really cold, everything's frozen, it makes trapping so much harder, almost impossible really. So with that being said, that just means that traps are gonna be a whole lot less useful during this time of year, and we're really going to put an emphasis on the predator hunting. Because the colder it gets as well, the more calories the coyotes are gonna need to stay warm, and the more vulnerable they should be to dying rabbit and animal sounds. And I'm thinking with it being this cold, I might actually have a third way to get these coyotes. That's a little bit different than most people do. But first, we're gonna need the bait. Now, originally my plan was gonna be to go out and actually trap some beavers like I've done on the channel before. Beavers are super meaty and make really good bait for predators. But randomly, my uncle just said, hey, do you want 2 dead chickens? And I was like, yeah, sure. But here's the plan. I'm gonna hang these chickens about 5 feet off the ground. Just enough to where a coyote will have a kind of hard time getting to them. Then I'm gonna have this cell camera, which sends pictures to my phone, set up right here watching the chickens. Here's the fun part. My house is over there. Whenever I get a picture, I jump out in my pajamas, sneak over to this shooting lane, take the shot. This might work, it might not, but it's definitely worth a shot. Literally. Anyways, let me go ahead and do it. And there we go. I think that should be pretty good. Pretty weird, but hanging chickens, cellular trail camera, and then all we need is a coyote and for me to be ready to make the shot. We'll see if we can make this happen in the next couple days. And while we were waiting for coyotes to show up on the trail camera, I actually got the results back from our very first DNA test. So let's take a look and see what it might be able to tell us. Alright guys, so the way I ended up doing this, it's kind of weird. I done 2 different brands. I ended up doing 1 wisdom panel and the rest of them embarks. All the embarks are actually going to tell us if they're family or not. The 1 wisdom panel is just random because it's not the same brand. But this is for Bingo. He was a 3-year-old, 5-month-old coyote. And let's scroll down and see what they think he is. It says that they've detected 2 different breeds in Bingo's DNA. And the top 2 breeds are exactly what we were looking for. 90% coyote, 10% wolf. Now, this is only 1 test, and scientifically, we need a bigger pool of data. That's what we got all those other tests for. But as for the first one, it's not looking too bad, is it? Let's look at the ancestry results and see what this says. It says it really only sees 2, 90% wolf, 10%, or 90% coyote, 10% wolf. And I guess it kind of lets you think about its parents. Coyote, 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 coyote. So wherever the wolf DNA did come from, it's been a long time ago. I mean, with coyotes, you got to think about it. A stinking great-grandparent could be 3 years ago. And that wolf DNA could be from 100 years ago. I'm not really sure. Maybe that's something we'll learn with the rest of the test kits that should be finishing up as we get more coyotes. We'll take a look at some relatives. It says we have 0 close relatives, 0 extended, and 8 distant. What I'm really hoping is on the other test that we got, we should start seeing some close relatives. Since they literally came from the same area, I feel like there's a really good chance they're like legit related. Which we're trying to wipe out them all. But distant relatives, Marshall, 1%. We got Asher. Somehow he's a dog, but he's still 1% related, and he's from Virginia. It's crazy that somehow, some way, all of these legit dogs are distantly related. But regardless, as for the first DNA test we got back, I'm pretty happy with the results, and this is looking pretty promising. But as for now, we're going to wait for coyotes to hit on those chickens, and then we're also going to wait for the rest of the test kits to get back, and that should tell us a lot more information. See y'all soon, hopefully. On the first few days of the bait, we really didn't have much action at all. But on day 3, we had our first predator. But he wasn't exactly a predator. It was just my guard dog, Steve. And then after Steve checked it out, I got a rabbit on trail camera, but pretty much didn't get anything else on camera, which I found really strange considering I have 2 trail cameras 100 yards away on each side, which both actively caught footage of coyotes on the move. And some of the videos had up to 2 coyotes in the same video, letting us know that there are coyotes still in the area and they are actively moving looking for food. But for whatever reason, maybe they knew it was a trap, maybe it's been too cold to smell it. But regardless, for whatever reason, There's been 0 coyotes check out my bait. So let's try something different. Instead of waiting for the coyotes to come to us, let's see what we can do to take the fight straight to the coyotes. I have an idea. And I call it codename Bird Strike. We're using the drone to drop a bomb on it. I'm just kidding. We're not doing that. Now, we're not actually going to be dropping bombs on it, but this is to test the theory if. Okay, now I've already looked into the laws. Here's the rules with dropping stuff from drones, okay? As long as it is not harming people or property, we're good. Or explosives or guns. So we're gonna be testing it with water balloons and then we'll go from there. But first I gotta test, can this actually work? And how good can it actually work? Because we need to be able to hit ahead if we're gonna. Let's just stop there. Check it out. I got a remote control detonator. I mean, release lock. Got this on Amazon. $4. Now, is that pretty cool?
That's pretty epic.
Yeah, this could work. Yep, side mounting should not be a problem. It's going to put the weight off to the side a little bit, but this is a very powerful drone, so it should be able to withstand that. KG pocket knife.
That and dirt short.
All right, let's see how she works here. Give me the payload. There we go, there's the payload. Hang on, here we go.
Oh, easy
Like
work.
a dream!
Easy.
Like a dream!
Look how stable it is, though.
Oh yeah, as long as I don't go too fast and let it swing too much, we should be good. Now let's take a look and see what it looks like on the drone. So I'm using my camera right now. I want to see if I can look down and see the balloon. Oh, I can. So yeah, I can actually see where the balloon is and see where to drop it.
Try to drop it on the Defender.
I think I'm gonna try to drop it on us. We have to figure out the rest. How's that? Let me take it on up higher.
That's crazy.
Here's what I'm gonna do on the drone. I know that the balloon is approximately 6 inches behind the camera. I can make the camera directly 90 degrees, offset for the wind a little bit, not much, and then just drop it and let it rip. I'm gonna go ahead and start lining up to 90 degrees and getting us over the target. So right now we're 90 degrees. All right, I'm hit drop. We should be right on target. I got a little bit of wind going to the right, so I'm gonna drop it right there and hopefully we hit the roof. Let's see if this thing reaches. Coming down!
Dang. Dang. If that'd be a grenade, though, that would have been a confirmed.
If that was a bomb,
Oh,
look at that. Look at the crater. I'm going to go ahead and land this thing. Check out that crater. But I'm not going to say anything too crazy. I actually will say something a little crazy. Obviously, I don't think there's going to be a lot of people do crazy stuff. No, I don't know what I can say and what I can't. I've not done anything illegal yet. All right, now you're the next target. Go out in the field. Good luck.
I didn't bring extra clothes.
Don't get hit.
He put me out here in this field. Boys, I gotta go to work. I can't get hit.
Okay, you guys are in my hands now. It's us versus Ethan. Lucky for us, we have a lot of capabilities on this drone. We can actually see Ethan walking in person.
That crater in the ground, though, that looked like it'd be painful.
We can also see him walking in infrared, so even if he does try to hide, I don't think there's any chance of that.
I just got over the flu. I don't know what I'm doing out here. That flu stuff sucks.
We dropped that first one from only about 200 feet. What if we go even higher?
I don't want to get hit by this thing, but I guess it's all right.
But I do think the higher we go, the harder it is going to be for him to see when we actually drop it.
Look there at him. He's right there. Uh-oh.
I think that's actually pretty good. I'm gonna hold off for the wind drift a little bit.
Uh-oh. This is bad news.
You better be watching, because I may drop it any second.
All right, hold on. Let me turn the camera around. He's right there.
I gotta adjust for the wind a little bit. Dropping it.
There it comes. Oh, gosh.
Payload gone. Oh, it missed him. Dude, that's actually pretty powerful.
Dang. If those things hit, oh, it hit right here. That'd be dangerous. Look at the crater. It's throwing stuff over here. We are not gonna use this for anything illegal. All right, let's go.
By the end of the day, we were able to raise our coyote totals up to 7. However, we wasn't able to get a DNA test because there just wasn't anything left. But at this point, nothing's been hitting the chickens. Our traps are still frozen to the ground, so we're left with one of our only options, and it's to go back out with the thermal and see if we can do some calling. What are you looking at?
This is crazy that you can actually see on a camera out here at night. Oh, I had it pointed the wrong way. What's up?
Alright, you ready?
Yeah.
Video me the best you can.
I want to kill a Sasquatch.
Hey, don't joke about that. Alright guys, we're out here. Me and Ethan's out here. We're here to end some lives. I've been having 2 up here howling at night. And so we're going down there and we're gonna try our best to just shoot them.
Ain't gonna howl for long.
No. Yeah, that's pretty much it. The rest of it, we're going coyote hunting. That's pretty much it.
That's right.
I don't really know how full moons affect coyotes. I know that you can't see it the best on this phone, but we can see almost everything. As we were walking into the spot, Ethan was scanning and he noticed a pretty big hot spot. Something that we needed to get a closer look at. Guys, we spotted something on the way in here. I can't tell what it is, but I see something hot right on the other side of the pond. I'm gonna turn on the night vision or the thermal and see what we can see.
We know it's not a deer.
Oh, I know it ain't a deer.
Yeah. It's right there.
Is it moving? Yeah, it's something right there on you. There it is. I can't tell exactly what that is. Honestly, I think that might be an owl. It looks like an owl. So, we're gonna let it go. Unfortunately, we didn't get any coyotes at this main spot. But back behind my house, I did just get a fresh trail cam picture of a gray fox. So we figured it was worth a shot. It's not the coyotes we're looking for, but a gray fox can do some serious damage on the rabbits that we're also trying to protect. And only 3 minutes into calling, and here he came, sneaking up on us from the right. Now at this point, we could see him facing towards us, which is actually a pretty small kill area. So I waited to see if he'll turn broadside and give me a little bit better shot. But some time ticked on, and he never did. So we just shot him anyways. Yeah. Just like the coyote, just like a bobcat. Predators are predators, and we compete for the same food, so that's how we do this. If I had to choose, I would want coyote, but gray fox, definitely take those 2.
If we speed hunting this hunt for the last of what, 10 minutes?
Yeah, I mean, we killed this gray fox at the 2-minute, 30-second mark. I see him right there. Good old gray fox. Yep, there we go.
Pretty little dude.
Yeah. And here we are. It's been a while since I had my trapping stuff out. Went for a good freeze and wet period, but now everything's back. It's dry, it's warm, and the coyote's been running this like crazy. And I wouldn't be surprised if we come right in here. Same spot we caught those first 5 coyotes. Catch them just like. Catch them. I'm just gonna get straight in there though. We're gonna set a coyote trap. We're gonna try our best to catch one right here in the next couple times. Oh baby. And this dirt is good. Look at that. Just like sand. This is the best kind of dirt you want to work with. There we go. That set's done. We tried hunting them. Not really the best. We tried the explosive drone. That's illegal to show on YouTube. And it seems like trap is just gonna be our best bet.
I'm just kidding. You're done.
Kind of find it hard to believe, but literally this exact trap, how many coyotes have we caught here so far? 6, 7, and once again, a first night catch. That's pretty crazy for a coyote. And we've done it multiple times right here. Must be a hot spot. Wonder why my deer keep getting eaten. You probably because I'm just kidding. I'm not actually that mad, but I am gonna kill you. Let's do it. And there we go. We out. Maybe we'll be back tomorrow.
And here we stinking go. Coyote in the trap, and this dude is a little buddy.
Dude, we have been getting so many coyotes. Usually in a season, I can get like 2, 3 coyotes, but this is different. But yeah, there he is. Come on, bud. That's coyote number 6. Something light, nothing heavy. Here's our coyote right there. Not too stressed out or anything. I'm not even sure how many coyotes we've got in this video, but I can tell you that from the ones we've trapped, all but one of the trapped coyotes have been right here. The other one was just right over this hump beside the pond. All right, guys, we are back out here, and we have another coyote in the same exact trap. But another thing, this is actually my last DNA test, and I will not be buying any more because they are expensive. However, luckily, we have a really good sponsor for this video. KendallGrayOutdoors.com or first link in the description. Yeah, it's my merch, but if you want to buy some merch, we got some really cool knives, really cool shirts, really cool hoodies, and we've even got hats. 2 of which we just released and I'm really excited about. I'm really not a big hat wearer myself, but if I was, I'd be wearing the camo hat quite a bit. So yeah, I guess I'm my own sponsor for this video. But if you do want to support the channel, that is the best way to do it. But yeah, this coyote is going to be our last DNA test. But I am going to reset the trap because we're still in it to kill as many coyotes as possible. Let's go ahead and scoot him over. Let's get this DNA test. And there we go. I'll get this DNA sent off, and then here in the next couple weeks, I guess, we should have all of our results back. We'll get to see if not only are they all family, but also if they're actually part wolf. Catch you guys in a few days. And so here we are, guys. It's taken a lot of time to get these DNA tests back. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look at it. We want to see, are all these coyotes family? And are they actually coyotes? We've got Derigo, Donna, Popeye, Riggy, and Womp Womp. These are the 5 coyotes that I actually got DNA tests for. Plus the one that we checked earlier in the video. First one, we're looking at Donna. We got 100% of the data analyzed and coming down, and she is definitely a coyote. A 95% plus coyote too. Just from what we can see right here, it doesn't seem like Donna has any traceable coyote DNA, which makes sense because Donna was one of the smaller ones we got. Now let's go into Derigo. Derigo was also 95% plus coyote. Doesn't say anything about wolf. Interesting. Very interesting. Let's go on to Popeye. Popeye, 95% coyote. Riggy. Okay, Riggy Riggy doesn't have an account. Never mind. Womp Womp is 95% plus coyote. And this test is supposed to test for wolf, but it didn't pick up any of it. So are any of these coyotes part wolf? Well, on the test we looked at earlier in the video, it said that they were around 10% wolf. But on this brand, it doesn't say there's any detectable wolf. But let's take a look at relatives and see how closely related these were. Number one relative is Popeye, with only 5% DNA shared. With 5% DNA shared, it's considered as humans to be first or second cousins. So that actually makes a lot of sense. And equally with 5% would also be Donna, Gregory, which is crazy. So apparently somewhere, somebody legit has this dog's first cousin as a pet. Same with stinking Oracle. Not only that, but Patty, with 4% DNA, related as first or second cousins. Patty's from Pennsylvania. I'm calling cap, literally. Here, there's a little thing about wolfiness. 72% and 77% wolfiness. But what does that even mean? It says most dogs have a wolfiness score of 1% or less, but it's rare that a dog scores 5% or above. And they had 72% of it. Donna's wolfiness score is 84%. Derigo's wolfiness is 83%. So honestly, taking a look at the test, I was really hoping that it would build this family tree of all the coyotes we killed and give me an exact percentage of wolf that's living in these coyotes. But unfortunately, I don't think we got either one of those. And I'm not exactly satisfied. I think we can do better, but we're gonna need a real scientist. Click over here if you wanna watch a video a couple years ago of hunting down a pack of coyotes that actually ate my dog. Not cool. Or right over here for some videos hunting down hogs, which are America's most invasive pest.